And it's usually the people that say they never change. That's when you told me that the storms will come. We just gotta learn to dance in the rain. Then you said, don't worry, 'cause babe, you got me.
What's up, beautiful people? I am so excited for this episode because we are talking about my marriage and my man. And I want to share with you guys just a little bit about us and how much this impacts what y'all see. Because having a solid foundation at home is the most crucial part in my success, and that has carried over from even having a solid foundation in my parents and having that as a healthy environment to thrive in as an entrepreneur. And now that carrying into my marriage is like the biggest blessing ever, because when I tell y'all, I have never connected with a person in the way that I connect with Cameron. It's unreal. Like, even when we were young and just didn't know what we were doing, kind of on and off in our high school relationship, we still had this very indescribable bond that just kept pulling us back together. And I remember when the first time I saw him really express initiative and interest in me in a big way was when I had first started Erin on Demand. I was like, I had savings from my last job, but I also wasn't making money immediately. So I was just seeing my savings just dwindle. And his 25th birthday was coming up, and he was like, I want to do a trip for my 25th. And I'm like, well, that sounds amazing, but I can't afford to pay for a trip right now. Like, I have to, ration out this money until I start making some money. And he was like, babe, I got you. Like, I will pay for the trip. I just want you to come with me. And I was like, okay, say less. Let me pack my bags. But I just realized how in that moment, it wasn't even about the trip. It was about the fact that he provided me with the certainty that it wasn't about that. And he knew that I was bringing more to the table than just my money. And also that he believed in me that this was going to work, because he could have been like, well, babe, just get a job and we can make this work. But he really believed in me. And then we got back from the trip. Christmas came around that year, and he bought me a ring light. And that also was just as big to me, because I'm like, he's investing in what he sees. He's investing in me, and I never told him to buy me no ring light. I didn't even know he knew what that was. But it just showed me how much he supported me. And ever since then, it has been nonstop support and doing whatever it takes to help us reach the goal. And I love how selfless Cameron is, because he doesn't have to he's not like a be in the spotlight type of person. He's very much so I will stay in the background, and let me figure out what I can do. But even with him being exposed to me being on camera, he has stepped out of his comfort zone and just tried to have his own YouTube channel and done that really well. And he has learned how to work the camera and edit and make sure the sound is great, work all the gear. I don't have to worry about any of that. And it's just so cool to see how you can witness somebody just transform in front of your eyes. And I'm sure he will say the same thing about me, from his perspective. But I have seen him step out of his shell in a way that takes so much courage and so much belief that what we're doing is going to work. So anyway, I say that to say, having that support system in my marriage has been the key, I think one of the biggest keys to my success, because I don't have the weight of worrying about my partner not supporting me or what they think about what I'm doing, or me feeling like I'm not pulling my weight in a certain place in our relationship. And I know that a lot of people deal with that. I think that for us, marriage is not about who's doing what. And we say that it's about the goal, not the role. Like Cameron, he does all the laundry. Like, I don't touch laundry. And it's because he's like, okay, I'm stepping in right here. Like, you don't have the capacity to do the laundry. I do. Let me take that off of your plate. And it's just, we operate in a way where we have the same vision. And I think when you are married or with someone in a relationship and you are also an entrepreneur, your vision has to be aligned because you have two different visions. You have the vision of your life and your family and all of that. And then you also have the vision of your business and where you see that going. And if both of those visions should honestly ultimately become one vision. But if those don't align, or if you aren't aligned in one or the other, then it becomes really difficult, I can imagine, to maintain a relationship and a business. And that's the biggest thing. It's just like, it's not about choosing who does what. It's about whoever stepping in, however, whenever, with whatever, to just get us to move the needle forward. And that's just how we roll. Like, that's just how we operate as a team. And you know, we still like have fun and we still go out on dates and we still have so many conversations. And lately we have just really been on this like mindset conversation. Like, we've been having it over the past couple of weeks because we're like, we have to make some shifts if we want to go to the next level. Like, we've been talking about our money mindset and how that has impacted us, you know, for so long, and what we want to do moving forward and how we want to start shifting our mindset moving forward. You know, also surrounding ourselves with couples who also think big and think, you know, understand where they want to go as a couple and having that vision just as strongly. It can be really difficult to find that. And when you have each other, like, and that's all you pretty much have. I mean, we have our families, obviously, but family is family. And obviously they support us and we love spending time with our family. But I think for us, it's just thinking big and being on the same page with that and having those conversations. So Cameron, we were talking last night and he really wants a new car. And we're always the type to be like, well, you know, let's just make more. Let's see where, you know, like before we pull the trigger. And we're like, why are we doing that? You know, we need to celebrate our wins and reward ourselves, and not in like a dumb way, you know, like not in a way that doesn't make sense for what we can afford. But I'm like, Cameron, you literally deserve a new car. Like, we have it, and you need to know what that feels like. I think for us, we are at a point where we just want to live in a mindset that matches where we actually are. And a lot of times we are realizing now that we haven't been. And there's no way for us to get to the next level if we continue to think the way that we have been thinking. So we're just like, I mean, when I tell you we have the most transparent, open, candid, whatever other way you can say that, relationship, we do, because we know that that level of honesty is the only thing that's going to allow us to grow as a couple, which is the foundation of us growing as entrepreneurs, growing a family. Like, we have to be on the same page. So I think balancing marriage and entrepreneurship, for one, starts with knowing your partner and knowing the type of person that you have and accepting them for who they are. I got glimpses of who Cameron was as a giver and as a leader well before I knew that he was my husband. And I had to see those elements of him before I made that commitment. I had to see him take initiative. I had to see him know how to lead as a man before I was even okay with us being married. And he proved that to me. And he constantly does on a daily basis. And with our relationship, like, I feel like a lot of people be like, well, how is it working together? Like, how is it you guys are always together 24/7? Because Cameron, he still works his corporate job. He is an engineer, but he still works his corporate job, but he also works full time for Erin on Demand. So we're home together all the time because his job is remote, and we love it. Like, I just be like, I can't imagine if you had to go into the office, because we get so much done, but we also have so much fun. Like, we eat together, we eat lunch together, breakfast together. We're always talking, but we also know how to give each other our space and let each other work. We go on dates throughout the week. We just got bowling balls so we could take up bowling as a hobby. Like, we just be doing stuff and we have fun with it. And it gives us an opportunity to connect even deeper. So, but the biggest thing is we do have boundaries. Like, we do, if somebody don't want to talk about business, or if we feel like we've been on that wave a little too much, then we will, just try to do an activity or cleanse our palate and do something fun, or book a little staycation or go out of town. So we always try to have things that we're looking forward to. But overall, like, marriage and entrepreneurship, I think a lot of times people believe they have to choose one or the other, and you don't. You can have both. You can have, and I believe you can have family too. Like, you don't have to pick between kids and travel and family and marriage and business. Like, you can have it all. It's just about developing those routines and having the mindset and having the support system, honestly, to be able to sustain everything that you want. So, yeah, I enjoyed this, and I am wishing any couples the best, because I know that it's not like that for everyone, but you have the power to show your partner that you are serious about what you're doing, and hopefully at some point they are on board. Or if you're the other person in your marriage or your relationship who isn't the main, star of the show, or isn't the person who is trying to get a business off the ground, then show your partner some support and some love and some kindness, and be there for them. But anyway, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you on the next.